YouTube. What up? It's the Kid Clipper, the Clipper, and I'm back at it. In this video topic discussion, I'm going to be telling you to watch closely if you don't believe me that the NBA is rigged. The NBA is absolutely rigged. And I see right now that they're insinuating and hinting to everybody to really just buckle down, take the fall, and let LeBron James win the championship in Philadelphia. Based on the gematria, based on the numerology, let's just look at it. The 76ers, if LeBron James would have got Paul Pierce, out of there back in the day, he probably would have had a ring. Paul Pierce's number is 34. 3 plus 4, is 7, so he's in the 76ers. You know how it goes. It's another person. Kobe wore 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. 76ers. He probably would have had 6 rings. They're hell bent on him surpassing Michael Jordan. And certain people, like commentators that's on ESPN, they're completely against it because they're saying they don't think the amount of rings that you have makes you great. For instance, if that's the case, Robert Horry, right? Robert Horry, he's better than Michael Jordan based on rings because he has 7 rings and Michael Jordan has 6. So it's a big discrepancy that's going on, and there's certain things that's going on that's showing you, preparing you, or whatever for the scripted rigged league and what they betting on. They basically trying to mix the teams up. 50 players got traded. They got new teams. Is it 50 or 80? It's something crazy. And the teams is picking players that don't match the system. You got the ESPN analysts arguing, like clearly arguing with each other. They want to get each other fired based on certain discussions and topics. I'll bring it all up for you. Stephen Curry's 38. He's about to be 39. All of the men, each and every man I'm talking about all of them. Kendrick Perkins, all of the white guys, Shams Charania, they're insinuating that Stephen Curry should be traded. But all of the women, they get on TV, live on air, they get so mad. They get so mad that they jump out of character and just want Stephen Curry to remain a Warrior his whole entire life. And they have a pitch where they're trying to land Zion Williamson, right? They're trying to land Zion Williamson into the Golden State Warriors. Now listen, I don't know how Zion Williamson accommodates Stephen Curry at all. Maybe when he gets the ball, he's left-handed and he's in the paint, he could ditch it out to Stephen Curry. But Stephen Curry did not win a championship with a high-flyer, contact, traffic dunker. He always had somebody that can shoot, and then he had another person that can shoot better. Okay, if he didn't have Klay Thompson and KD, Klay Thompson can shoot the ball, but KD's a better shooter overall. He wouldn't have won the championship that many times. And he got saved by Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole was a baller, and they beat Boston in a few years back or whatever in the championship. And dumb Jason Tatum and the rest of the Celtics, what they do is they try to put on a shooting clinic and outshoot the Warriors when all they got to do is attack the basket. And that's another way that the league is rigged or whatever. He shot about 50 3-point. They shot about 50 unnecessary 3-pointers and shot themselves out the game just like they've always done. Just to prove to you that Jason Tatum isn't that good. He's really suspect because he's lying about his age. Had he been a basketball wizard or had any type of knowledge, he would know just going to the basket would get him buckets. You know what I'm saying? But he's lying about his age, so it looks like that he's young and dumb and tender, and he's sensitive still because he's young and he really doesn't know what he's doing. In all reality, he's just not that good. And that's my point about him slowing down JB, getting to the playoffs, right? And then waiting to the crucial Game 7 not to hold up on his end of the bargain and try to ball out. Looks like it was a fake injury. He really didn't rupture his Achilles. If you watch when he got hurt, he looked like he took the fall also, like he heard something and he went what he did. Now look at the Golden State Warriors trying to pull Zion Williamson or the league, not just the Golden State Warriors. They're trying to appoint Zion Williamson, who had all of that baby mother trouble, who spent all of his money with the women or whatever, and now he's thirsty and desperate and he's always hurt. They're trying to line him up with Stephen Curry. Why? Do you see what I'm saying? Because if they don't win the championship, it doesn't look bad on Stephen Curry, right? Here goes the light skin versus dark skin situation. If Zion Williamson goes to the Golden State Warriors, and then they balling out, they in the potential to go into the playoffs. And if Zion Williamson blows up in weight and hurts himself again or whatever, it doesn't look that bad on Stephen Curry because he's 38 going on 39. And Zion Williamson was the overall #1 pick with a whole bunch of promise, the LeBron James type future and expectations or whatever. That's the biggest cover up you will ever see. Why don't you go get light skinned Jason Tatum, right, and let him shoot the ball with Jason Tatum? You see how the situation ain't work with Jimmy Butler, black Jimmy Butler, going to the Warriors, slowing the Warriors down. As soon as Stephen Curry went to, as soon as Jimmy Butler went to go play with Stephen Curry got hurt for a whole bunch of games. And then all the light-skinned people got mad at Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler tore his ACL, and now he ain't never going to be the same again. You see what I'm saying? You see how the league is rich? You're putting things together that just does not match. You got Malika Andrews and the other white girl. They got mad at the dudes, Kendrick Perkins, the other two white people, the other black people that used to talk about how he liked the Pacers so much. I think he played for the Pacers, ex-player or whatever. They went off on him because they were saying you should trade Stephen Curry to a championship-like team where he could win another ring, and they just hell bent on holding him back and letting him retire as a Golden State Warrior. Then they brought up this situation. They said, yeah, that's something that Paul Pierce wanted to do in the Boston Celtics because he got traded to the Nets. And then he got traded around or whatever with the Wizards. He was still balling on the Wizards. If you look, he was balling on the Nets and the Wizards. And I think he went to the Clippers or he went somewhere and it was over for him or whatever. But he always said he wanted to stay in Boston. And the reason why he's gone from Boston is because of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Had they not moved him and took him to New Jersey or to the Nets rather or whatever it was at the time, Brooklyn. Had they not take the picks, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown would have been probably on the Brooklyn Nets. And that's the sabotage situation I'm talking about. Everything is a gamble. Look at the 76ers. They get Anthony Simons, right? You get Jaylen Brown. Now you got LeBron James, who signed a $99 million contract as an 18-year-old with Nike, settling for $8 million. So he's just super rich and doesn't care about his retirement whatsoever. He got all of them kids and all of them health problems that they covering up, and he's just gonna sacrifice for $8 million. This is all the betting aspect. It's illegal. Listen, the NBA is in trouble right now for certain things. Kawhi Leonard cannot go to the Raptors because of a business move that happened a long time ago, and he was supposed to get traded for Brandon Ingram. Mind you, he won a championship when nobody expected it in the Raptors, and he got business endeavors in Canada. He has a store in Canada, and he has businesses in California because he's from California. So it was a situation where Kawhi Leonard, they made it look like it was a fraudulent thing he did, a campaign he did or whatever, because he had some type of a meeting or gathering and he didn't show up, right? It was like, he didn't show up to the meeting or gathering, so it looked like that somebody threw the meeting and gathering under his name, and it was like a scam because he wasn't there. Back in 2002, 2003, in the summertime, me and my other cousin, we went to the Shaquille O'Neal camp. Down in the gym in the Manhattanville Jaspers. You know where the Manhattanville Jaspers at? They said this is Shaquille O'Neal camp and he never ever came either. You don't hear Shaquille O'Neal getting sued for anything. As a matter of fact, I had a Kobe Bryant jersey. They said if you want anything signed or whatever, then you give it to us. We'll get it signed by Shaq and we'll mail it back to you. It's been almost 30 years later, and I know he hated Kobe, but I couldn't get my jersey back. You could have at least gave me my jersey back without the signature and stuff like that. Shaq ain't get sued. The league ain't step in. He was fresh from a championship with a three-peat. So there's no excuse. So because they scared. They know Kawhi Leonard. You know, if you put Kawhi Leonard back in the Raptors and they got all of them giants, everybody on the Raptors is big, LeBron James is gonna be sabotaged. He's not going to win the championship. It's only but so much the referees can do to rig the game. Once it's blown open, and the referees keep trying to stop the game, and they can't stop the game the way that they're supposed to stop the game without it looking too obvious, they get mad. Another situation that happened like that is when Randy Moss played for the Patriots with Tom Brady. You can tell that they were supposed to win the championship. The Patriots were supposed to win the championship that year, but the Giants was just hell bent and they was too turned up and they snatched it from them and the referees couldn't save it. This is exactly what's happening now. This is what I'm saying. And this is my point. You think that this doesn't mean anything. This means a lot to people. There's people all over in the other countries that want to play in the NBA because the money is right. You sitting up here lying about people's age. You denying certain people that's the proper age that could develop and become better. You're denying them for somebody like Jason Tatum. You're denying them for somebody like Cooper Flag. You're denying them for somebody like Jordan Walsh or whatever. VJ Edgecomb. Look, VJ Edgecomb had a way better season than Cooper Flag. Way better. They didn't go to the playoffs. VJ Edgecomb, nobody knew it was coming up. And they still gave it to Cooper Flag. Why? Cooper Flag was in White Plains, New York, around people in the NBA, back and forth to Madison Square Garden in 2005. The whole situation is rigged. He was around. Sean Kilpatrick is our cousin, right? Sean Kilpatrick went to the league, right? So when the scouts was watching Sean Kilpatrick to send him to Cincinnati, Sean hit me up. Sean hit me up when I was in Virginia. He hit my phone. He said, yo, cuz I'm going to Cincinnati. What you think? He said, should I go to Cincinnati? And it was another school. I said, where your heart at? He said, Cincinnati. I said, then go to Cincinnati. That's where you go. That's how you going to go to the league. And he went or whatever, right? Cooper Flag was around Sean and the other white people in White Plains, New York, because he was tall, skinny, lean, he had a look or whatever, and he could dunk the ball, but he was lying about his age just like he's lying about his age now. Now the 76ers is trying to get a whole bunch of guards. Why they trying to get a whole bunch of guards? Because they scared of Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is not going to pass the ball to LeBron when he's supposed to. That's the reason why Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant, that whole situation didn't work out, and Draymond Green took Stephen Curry's side and attacked Kevin Durant the way he did. They was arguing in the game all the time. KD was ball hungry. KD said it himself too. He said they wasn't my friends before, none of them. Before I went to the Warriors, they basically recruited me over the summer. Go look, they had mad static during the season, but they still won. Stephen Curry used to throw his finger at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant used to clap mad hard at him and all of that. And that didn't look right or whatever, but they still got the job done. Now that they see that Kawhi Leonard was going to get traded for Brandon Ingram, and Kawhi Leonard is not old. Look how old Kawhi Leonard is. You would think he's like 42 like LeBron James, and he's not. Right? They going over there. They're going to take him to the Raptors. And then when the play, it could be the first round or the second round. And them Raptors is going to step all over them. The dude Barnes, the guy Barnes that was out here in Yonkers or whatever. He was out here in the league dunking all 24/7. They all mad tall. RJ Barrett, mad tall. I think the shortest person on their starting lineup was like 6'7". That was the shortest person. Everybody was like 6'9", 6'11", 6'10", the whole starting squad. What's Tyrese Maxey gonna do against RJ Barrett when they clutch up and they D you up in the playoffs? This ain't the regular season. It's the same thing I said about the Boston Celtics and Peyton Pritchard. Everybody bigging up Peyton Pritchard, and as soon as he goes against a black, athletic, fast, strong guard such as VJ Edgecombe, such as Tyrese Maxey, his white ass is gonna get smoked, and they refuse to trade him. Same thing with Derek White. His soft, sentimental ass, he's gonna choke as soon as somebody gets physical with him, and it's a wrap. And that's why Jaylen Brown got traded, because what they don't want you to know is that Jaylen Brown, he punched Derek White in the face, and him and Jason Tatum got into a fight. I'd be mad too. I'm not a big Jaylen Brown fan. I'm just gonna tell you, it's just something about him I just don't like. I just don't like something about Jaylen Brown. That's why I'm not going crazy about it. And I didn't care about Giannis Antetokounmpo because he's feeling himself too much. He also played with my cousin Sean Kilpatrick also. And it looked like he got Sean Kilpatrick put out the league because Giannis couldn't shoot and Sean could shoot. Every Friday when we was going to the YMCA, me, Sean, and Terrence and the rest of us, we helping each other shoot. My other cousins couldn't shoot, but I was a better shooter than all of them niggas. And Sean seen that I could shoot or whatever. And I made sure Sean knew how to shoot. That's just what it is. And Sean will tell you, and everybody else will tell you. And he grew. He got wild tall 1 week. I seen him on one Friday. The next Friday I came back, the nigga was like 6-something. We was the same height, and then the next week he's like 6'3". I was like, oh, it's a wrap. He's going. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. And then they bounce Sean around because Sean can shoot. You got to be in the NBA. If you're in the NBA, driving is not going to get you anywhere. It's not. You're not going to get through your whole NBA career successfully if you're just a driver. You got to be able to shoot the basketball. And Zion Williamson cannot shoot the basketball on the same level as Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, or nothing. So you're going to turn Zion Williamson into a shooter. That's what you're going to do, right? And if he doesn't excel and shoot, you're going to show him the light skin hate. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? And now you see Tyrese Maxey got sick in the playoffs. Okay? Watch it again. When they went against the Knicks, he was blown out. He was too tired. His eyes were showing dark blue. He was too tired. He was done. That's what happens. He caught a cold. And that's what they don't want. And that's why they holding that Kawhi Leonard situation the way that they are. Because they know that the Raptors is going to go. Right, the Raptors is going to go to the playoffs, and then once it's a 7-game series around the same exact team, it's a wrap. All they got to do is play a 3-2 or a 2-3 or play a boxing one. Who do you play the boxing one against? You play the boxing one against who? You either play it against LeBron or you play it against Tyrese Maxey, and it's a wrap. They're going to lose. Playing the same team, that's Giants, 7 games straight. They're going to lose. The NBA is super, super, super rigged. The Boston Celtics went and got Paul George, who is 36 years old. Okay? 36. The Boston Celtics could have traded. They wanted JB. They wanted Hugo Gonzalez. He's 19, about to be 20 from Spain. He's not that good. And they wanted Luka Garza. Listen to these people that they wanted in the draft picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me? Giannis, as hell-driven as he is to win, all he wants to do is win. You wouldn't go all out. He's a power forward. Is he not the top 3 power forward in the NBA? You wouldn't go all out to pull him, but you get a 36-year-old and you keep the Spanish Hugo Gonzalez. He's trash. He's going to get smoked. And Luka Garza, who blows up in weight. Now, Luka Garza, he could ball. He could ball. I'm dead serious. He does his job. It's not like he's in the perimeter going tween, crossover, step back with the 3-pointer, and 1 3-pointer, 4-point play. He plays the paint. And let me tell you something. He was handling Joel Embiid, and they didn't let him play on purpose. And when Luka Garza got into the game, the referees gave him 2-3 fouls first quarter. The first 6 minutes of the game, they gave Luka Garza 3 fouls or 2 fouls and got him right out the game. Dead serious. So why not trade him if you can't do nothing with him? But you get a 36-year-old, who shattered his leg, okay? He didn't break it, he shattered it. That's worse than anything in the world. Sometimes a dislocation is worse than a break. You rather break a finger than to keep dislocating the finger, okay? And if you shatter it, you might not ever feel the same again. They traded JB, who should have been the MVP, and a whole bunch of other stuff to get what? To get what? A 36-year-old? For what? That's what I'm saying. You got 4-round draft picks you got 2 first-round draft picks, and you got 2 second-round draft picks in return. So now look at your squad, Boston Celtics. This is what I mean about the stupid stuff. You're supposed to let Luka go if you want to win, okay? You're supposed to let Luka Garza go and Hugo Gonzalez go. And I'm going to tell you why. Look at all the people on the Boston Celtics. Look at it. They have Peyton Pritchard. I'm not going to name Jason Tatum yet. Hold on. They got Peyton Pritchard. They got Derek White. They play the same position. They got Baylor Scheierman. He plays the same position. They got Hugo Gonzalez. He plays the same position. Ron Harper Jr., right? He plays the same position. And Jordan Welsh can play the 1, 2, 3, and 4. They had Delonte Banton. They just drafted Chris Sinnett and Dylan, and I forgot it, Dylan Mitchell. They all play the same position. 1 or the 2. You get lucky and play the 3 and the 4 if you play a short, small team. If you play Golden State, Draymond Green is only 6'5", and sometimes he runs the power forward or the center if Porzingis is not playing. You had 7 to 8 guards. And you kept all of them. Luka Garza is an undersized power forward. He's just girthy. He gets big. He put on weight. He a brolic white boy, and he was moving Joel Embiid, and he could move everybody out the paint and grab the rebound. He'd grab the rebound and scream like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he'd talk that garbage or whatever. You wouldn't trade a guard like Hugo Gonzalez and Luka Garza, who doesn't get the whistle. He does not get the whistle, right? And now behind Luka Garza, guess what they have? They have a 6'11" center. He's young, a black center named Amari Williams, who they won't give no play to. That's what you need. He's either 6'10", 6'11". He might be 7'1". He's up there. They're not lying about his size. Like, you know, certain people, they get lied about they height. They really tall or they really shorter. You know, Derrick Rose was a real 6'4". You see what I'm saying? He's a real 6'4". And if you look at other guards that they say is 6'3", they're not. They're like 6'2". You see what I'm saying? They're like 6'2 and a half. Just like the Allen Iverson factor. The Allison Iverson factor. If you see Allen Iverson in real time, he's not that tall. He just has long arms or whatever. They had Paul Pierce listed as 6'6", 230 pounds his whole career until he went to the Brooklyn Nets, and then they started really telling that he's 6'7" and a half. You feel me? So who's winning? Who's winning? Okay, you don't want to pair Jason Tatum with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then you got a whole bunch of other guards you can trade a little package and get another superstar. You got $35 million in a trade exception in cash considerations. LeBron only signed for $8 million. That means, listen, 8, 16, 24. We can sign right now. We can sign Jonathan Kuminga, DeMar DeRozan, and Russell Westbrook if they want to sign. Where's the signings? It's too rigged. He signed for $4 million per year. We got $36 million to work with. 36. And we got a whole bunch of draft picks. We got first round draft picks. First round draft picks. Not the second round. And they unprotected. They unprotected. Meaning if the team goes to the lottery and they win the first draft pick, right? It goes to the Boston Celtics. So one of them cats, let's just say for instance, Darren Peterson or AJ DeBosch, whatever his name is. If it was this year, them cats would have came to the Boston Celtics instead of going to the Wizards and the other team, the Jazz or wherever he went. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you see how rigged that joint is? How they holding the Kawhi situation and trying to get him in trouble because he didn't show up to an event. And Shaq did it to us in 2002, 2003. The summer, that whole semester, he did that joint to us. Nothing happened. Everybody, we had to pay mad money to go to that camp. Mad money to go to that camp. That camp was mad expensive. That wasn't no social gathering, no cookout or picnic or nothing like that. That was held at a college, Manhattanville Jaspers, and he never came at all. He didn't come at all. We had a bunch of ex-college players with sob stories like Jay Williams, who was in Duke, that got into the motorcycle accident when he was playing for the Bulls. We had a bunch of them waiting for Shaq to walk through the door. The only reason why I was able to go to the camp is my father wanted to see Shaq. That's his favorite player. That's the only reason why I was able to go to the camp. I wasn't going to go to the camp. It was too expensive. And my other side of the family, they got wild bread or whatever. And my cousin, he didn't want to go by himself, so they was like, all right, we'll help Drew go or whatever if he's serious on going. He never ever showed. The little white kids was crying. The girls was crying. Everybody was crying. He never showed up. They used to wake us up like 4 o'clock in the morning and run us. And we were so tired of basketball. The program would end at like 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock. We would be up at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. They would run us to 9 at night. I'm talking about basketball 24/7, drills 24/7. Y'all got lunch, y'all got dinner. Y'all better hurry up, go to sleep, take a shower, go stay in the dorm, and you gonna wake up 4 o'clock in the morning again. Pay thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. What is $1,000? Certain people had to pay more because I think we had a connect or whatever, so we had to pay the total, the grand total, the whole situation, because that side of the family got connects because they famous. Shaq ain't show. If that's the case, Shaq shouldn't have been able to play because I think they won a championship that year, if I'm not mistaken. Or they just won one. He should have been penalized too. They know Kawhi Leonard on the East Coast, because he's on the West right now. Look how I'm not lying to you. He's on the West right now. He goes to play in the land of the Giants. Look at all the people on the Raptors. They got mad tall people. They're going to crunch. They are going to crunch the Sixers. All what has to happen right now, all what has to happen is if Joel Embiid gets hurt. And I guarantee you, if he play the Raptors, they going to hurt him because they too big and too strong for him. And then it's a wrap. There's nothing LeBron James could do. There's nothing VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Simons off the bench. There's nothing they can do. Look how rigged it is. It's crazy. The girls just sitting up there screaming. I wish I could show you the soundbite. I wish I could show you. They are screaming at the dudes to stop saying to trade Stephen Curry. Screaming. It's getting personal. Crazy. This is all based on the bets. This is all based on the FanDuel. This has got nothing to do with your talent and nothing. He's 30. Paul George is 36. 36. You're basically telling us Jason Tatum is lying about his age. Now you're getting older. You're trying to sign Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, that's the best you could do. Are you about to give Bradley Beal $35 million? When you can sign a whole... Jonathan Kuminga is like 23, 24. And he's nasty. He dunk on everybody. He can shoot and everything. DeMar DeRozan is older, but guess what? I watched all the Celtic games. He used to kill Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Kill him. He used to kill him. It was murder in the first degree all the time. If he couldn't shoot any other day, he's gonna shoot well against the Boston Celtics, especially Jaylen Brown. So you don't want to get him. Or Russell Westbrook. He done averaged a triple-double 3 years in a row, right? 2 years, 3 years in a row. Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe was killing Peyton Pritchard in the playoffs. Peyton Pritchard did a good job, got us to the playoffs, right? And then got smoked. He was getting crunched, smoked, putting him on a picture. They putting him on a poster. They made him fall. They was crossing him up, making him fall, hitting the three-pointer in his face, starting to laugh at him. You need a big athletic guard that's going to be able to run with them, and they won't do it. It's rigged. You're taking the fall, collecting draft picks, telling us that you're all right what you did to Jaylen Brown. Like I said, I'm not a Jaylen Brown fan. I never was a Jaylen Brown fan. Never. You had it. If I could have it my way, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum would have got traded at the same time. You could have gave us freaking frat money and some draft picks. I'd have been all right with it. They just don't have it in them. They not killers. They not. They just not killers. You got older. And you got 9 people playing the same position. You traded three 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" centers. 6'10" and 6'11" centers. That was black. Are you kidding me? The league is not rigged. And then you kept the darkest, blackest one, Neemias Queta, the Muslim dude. You kept him. Didn't make no sense. And didn't play Amari Williams. You got rid of Boucher. And you got rid of Xavier Tillman. 6'10", 6'11". And then traded Anthony Simons for the 6'9" Vucevic. Take it. The projection, first seed versus the 8th seed, second seed versus the 7th seed, is too rigged. You already know the Raptors is going to go to the playoffs. They're going to go to the playoffs with Kawhi. It does not matter if they're the first seed or the 8th seed. Why doesn't it matter? Look at the Boston Celtics versus the 76ers in the season that just passed. The 76ers was what, the 8th or the 7th seed? And they beat the Boston Celtics? And then you let Jaylen Brown dominate the whole season. And then when Tatum comes, you're giving Tatum the ball every single time. And this dude is trying to win the MVP. What? You got the referees talking about Jaylen Brown's dad. His pops is in jail for murder. He murdered somebody in the parking lot. JB said, "What's going on? Blow your whistle." The white referee said, "How's your father?" And they cut the audio off. When he got ejected versus the Spurs, he said, "How's your father?" And JB, no, that's why I don't like him. He don't speak. He does whatever the white men do. JB ain't say nothing. You're supposed to go right on in the interview and get fined, however, kicked or suspended or whatever. You're supposed to say exactly what that little white bastard said to you. He said, "How's your father?" And that's why JB went off. And they kicked him out the game versus Wemby. I'm being dead serious. When you steal the game, right? When you steal the game and you watching the games on live stream, on the internet, on live stream instead of cable TV, you hear the other mics. There's mad microphones and other cameras around on stream. And certain things get held back because it's a delay. It's a delay. From stream to the games on cable, it's a big delay. The games be over on stream and still going on Cablevision. Dead serious. I got the TV on in the living room, watching the game on cable, and I'm on a live stream, and the live stream game is ahead of the Cablevision game. Facts. Optimal Wi-Fi, whatever it's called. It's sickening. That drink is sickening. Look at that. Look at the Dematria with LeBron. They haven't won in 43 years. 43 years. You feel me? That 43's Kendrick Perkins backwards is Paul Pierce, who stops you from getting the ring. 76ers, Kobe 2 plus 4 is 6. Pierce 3 plus 4 is 7, 76. There goes your 2 for $8 million. Kobe Roy 8-2. Look at the Dematria. They keep an eye on this type of stuff on purpose. This is not, it's actually not hard. It's not hard to do. It's not, because it's a perfect accident. It's a perfect mistake. It's a perfect situation that happens that you could clearly take advantage of. You can see it 2-3 years before it comes to fruition, and then you build around it. The Boston Celtics went and got Mitchell Robinson from the Knicks, who can't shoot no free throws. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. Nothing at all. It makes sense. For LeBron to go to the 76ers, he's literally asking for leverage. He's asking for leverage. He wants people to cheat for him. This is what I'm saying. I feel like other players in the league, they're gonna take the fall for him. They are. They're gonna take the fall for him. They're gonna use load management. They're gonna fake injuries. They're gonna, everything that you see with Terry Rozier, how he didn't pass the ball, or he lost the ball out of bounds on purpose. All that stuff that you seen, that's what they're gonna start doing. I'm dead serious. It's just not gonna be for no money and getting paid under the table. It's just gonna be trying to get LeBron James his 5th and 6th ring. And that's why they holding the Kawhi Leonard dream. That's exactly why they holding it. It's a wrap. They bump into Joel Embiid too hard, and he's hurt for the rest of the season. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Who they got? Andre Drummond? Andre Drummond ain't the old Andre Drummond they used to play on Detroit. When he was Andre Drummond on Detroit, he was nice. He ain't the Andre Drummond of old. It's a wrap. You feel me? And now that everybody know how VJ Edgecomb is playing, all they gonna do is key in on him. You ain't gonna leave him open. You ain't gonna leave him isolated on the wing. It was his first year playing in the league. Second year is gonna be different. He's not gonna be able to get loose like that. I'm telling you, they're gonna try to trade Tyrese Maxey. I'm dead serious. They're gonna try to trade Tyrese Maxey. I'm dead serious. And because they know why. VJ Edgecomb is lying about his age. He's more poised and he's more mature than you think he is, and he's getting slept on. Feel me? Getting slept on. They're going to try to go for Kyrie Irving. They're going to try to make Kyrie Irving play with LeBron James, and Kyrie Irving does not want to play with LeBron James. He doesn't. That's exactly what it's coming down to. Trade Tyrese Maxey, and you going to get Kyrie Irving and a whole bunch of draft picks. And then hope you can sign Tyrese Maxey in 2 or 3 years. The 76ers, when LeBron is gone, they're going to try to make a pitch at Tyrese Maxey and probably try to sign him for a max contract, a big contract. That's exactly what's happening. Look at the Heat. Look at the Heat. Bam Adebayo scored the 83 points, right? So now you got Giannis. Do you think this is really going to work? Just really look at this situation. How is Giannis going to play with Bam Adebayo? Right? They got Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins. How is that going to work? You feel what I'm saying? It's not going to work. That's why they wanted LeBron to go there. LeBron could play the point guard, and he could play other positions. You see what I'm saying? You see how it looks like LeBron did something dirty? Like he led everybody on and then went to the 76ers. And the only The only team in the league right now that matches the Illuminati, because he has the Sigma situation, the Sigma, what is it called? The Boule, they call it the Boule. It's a sorority, it's a fraternity called the Sigmas. He's not a Sigma. He didn't go to college and pledge in the fraternity. Why do you have the Sigma people tatted on your chest? I'll tell you why. Because the Sigmas is heavy in Philadelphia. The Sigmas is heavy in Pennsylvania. Heavy. That's the most famous fraternity in Pennsylvania. Is the Sigmas. I think they started in 1913 or 1914 or something like that. Yeah, they started in 1914. The Sigmas, heavy. They heavy. That's why I said he went down the Boule. He went down the Illuminati road. Facts. Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth state. Come on. So look at that. People are gonna take the fall, man. You can see Jason Tatum taking the fall. You can see it. He did it to JB. They're not telling you the real reason why they trading JB is because he punched Derek White in the face. They're not gonna never tell you that. And Jason Tatum said something about it, and they started arguing and stuff like that. Because if you look, Jason Tatum and JB is on the car arguing with each other. Then nigga Jason Tatum said, "Get the fuck away from me! Don't fucking touch me." That's what he said to JB. Meanwhile, you thinking he's younger than JB and he's really 4 years older than nigga. 3 years older than the nigga. Come on, man. Look at that situation the way it's supposed to be looked at. Paul George. You could have had Giannis if you'd have traded the other two white boys. You don't give Luka Garza no run at all. You don't get a nigga no run whatsoever. Joe Mazzulla and Brad Stevens. You leave him on the bench all the time. That nigga did not play at the end of the season. He did not. And he was balling. When Anthony Simons was on the Celtics, let me tell you, Luka Garza was on the floor, grabbing all the rebounds, elbowing people. He's a big-ass white boy. He gets stocky. He was diving for loose balls, playing defense, hitting the three-pointer and all of that. He's just slow. He's slow as molasses. Slow as molasses. And he was balling. And Hugo Gonzalez is garbage. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how old he is. 19 and 20, I don't care how old he is. He's garbage. He went to the summer league this summer and got his ass bust. Used the whole entire summer. He had to shoot mad shots just to get 20 points. He's not going to be able to shoot or be in the game that fucking much this season. Are you out your mind? You out your mind? I'd have gave that nigga up so quick. I'd have gave Hugo, Luka, and the rest of the Ukas and the Ugos and all of that. I'd have gave all of them up for Giannis. I'd have gave him so quick. It's disgusting. So now Paul George is about to come to the Boston Celtics, right? And have an MVP-like season like JB did. That nigga is 8 years older than JB. On the way out to retirement. He's about to have an MVP season like JB. You kidding me? They got all of those guards. Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Ron Harper Jr., Baylor Shireman. That's four right there. That's four right there. And not to mention, they want the nigga Jason Tatum to play either the power forward or the point guard. So how is this going to work out? You feel me? That shit is rigged. If I listen, I'm gonna expose it too, the referees and all that. If I see any player making some type of sacrifice and throwing the game for LeBron, I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna call it right. I'm gonna show you. Call it right out. And there's money involved too. Listen, the United States can get hit up for that. The United States can get in trouble for that. I'm dead serious. You see how the IRS got in trouble by the Federal Reserve, the federal government? The Federal Reserve will nail the NBA. They can shut the NBA down. They're already on the verge of shutting them down because of the betting situation. You got billionaire franchise owners. The owners that franchise owners, you see what I'm saying? They're making bets and placing illegal betting. But you have a team in Canada that's not in the United States of America that's getting what? They getting blackballed and troubled by American decisions. That's it right there. Steve Ballmer, he loved Kawhi Leonard. He loved Kawhi Leonard. And still traded him back to the Raptors, right? Back to the Raptors just to get at that LeBron situation. They knew LeBron was going to go east. The only other team, when he told the Lakers no, the only other team that was on the West Coast that had their door open for him was who? The Golden State Warriors. And they can't get Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis don't want to play over there. So it was obvious. Feel me? That could get the league shut down. What they did to Canada, the Raptors is in Canada. You feel me? The Raptors in Canada. They complain to the federal government and then they bring up the sports betting and all of the shadiness. They're going to shut it right down. They don't care about no jerseys, no arenas, no stadiums, no none of that. It's that serious. You got people living their life just to want to play in the NBA. What type of example is you setting by betting and doing shadiness and lying about people's ages and stuff like that? No. They taking steroids and other type of hormones and stuff like that. Testosterone. Yeah. It's a wrap. Unacceptable, B. I'm dead serious. Unacceptable. When I heard that ref said, "How's your father?" to JB, they cut his mic so fast. That's when he got thrown out. The little white ref. And that's the same, and what did I say? That's the same ref they put in Game 7 when the Celtics played the Knicks and Jason Tatum sat out. They put him right in Game 7. Ticky-tack fouls. Unacceptable technical fouls. Then don't call it the other way. When you don't call it the other way, then what? The player gets mad. And when the player gets a technical foul, he gets fined $5,000. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you players get fined $5,000, 5 G's? And if you flop, you get caught flopping, you get fined $5,000. Watch out, yo. You don't think it's nothing? That joint's going to turn into something big. I'm talking about huge. Huge. Because Canada is not a part of the United States of America. It's like opening up another problem. You feel what I'm saying? It's like the United States, you already got too many problems. And now the business aspect of the situation is at jeopardy, right? Because you have a certain type of stipulations or whatever, and you got a certain view on how you want, and a projection on how you want things to play out. It's scripted. Come on. LeBron got his kids to play with him. His children, he got his child playing with him. You feel me? Like, look at that. You want that in the league, right? That's what you want. You want this man to play 25 years so you can argue against Jordan. It's all about skill. Like I said, Robert Horry got 7 rings. Robert Horry, he got 7 rings. So if it was based on rings, right, he's better than Michael Jordan, right? So what's the problem? You're trying to fulfill some type of crave for some reason. You're trying to fulfill something. And if you know like how I know, I know people that know LeBron. They told me LeBron is a scumbag. LeBron chases transgenders. He chases transsexuals. I heard a lot. He's on steroids. I heard a lot about LeBron. I was best friends, brotherly, like with one of LeBron's old rivals. Okay? Know it for a fact. LeBron used to mess with a white girl named Sarah. Her father was one of the people that worked in Wachovia Bank. And they had a job at Wells Fargo and stuff like that. Bank of America. He was a banker. And she was a white girl with mad money. She had a whole bunch of money. Her pops had a whole bunch of money. She used to call my phone looking for this nigga Meech. Right? Meech he got lucky and he wound up messing with Corey Guns. But her name was Sarah. She used to call my phone. She used to call my phone or whatever and look for Meech or whatever. She used to send, like when Facebook first opened or whatever, she used to send pictures and show us the pictures. She used to have all the cars, the big house, this, that, and the third. He used to be like, yo, did you talk to LeBron lately? She'd be like, no, I haven't talked to him in a minute or less. Last time we fucked, this, that, and the third. She used to say all types of shit. And she wasn't lying. I can tell when somebody's lying about a situation. He had it out for LeBron for some reason, right? So I stayed in tune with why he wanted LeBron to be sabotaged so much or whatever. And it's his steroid use. That's what it was. The nigga was on steroids in high school. And nobody said nothing. Besides his crown being split the way it's split, you see how his crown is? It looks nasty. It looks like a vagina, like an open vagina. You see how it looks? That's steroid use. That's enhancement. When people head bump, and they head bump against the wall, and they probably hurt the front of their crown or split the back of their crown, it don't look like that. It don't look like that. See how it looks raw and tender? That's steroid use. That's from being broken in the inside. You feel me? The hormones and everything broke from the inside of it. And it split like that because of him working out and stuff. That's not him head banging or playing football or something like that, or getting into a fight and getting crashed on with his head, like, you know what I'm saying? Or crashing on his head and nothing like that. That's not none of that. That's steroid use. That's from the inside. You see how it's different type of acne? Like certain people got acne from the outside, and then certain people got acne from the inside. You can tell the difference. The acne that's in the inside is way worse than the acne that's on the outside. You see that? You see what I'm talking about? Like on the outside, it looks like it's just little dots, little bumps or whatever, little dots. But when it's coming from the inside, it's hair bumps, it's pus bumps. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Go now. Look at his crown. Look at how his crown is split with his crown. That's steroid use. Facts. And they won't say nothing. They keep letting them play. That's why the clinic won't. He got all that money and they won't give him no hair. He literally can't get that fixed. You can't fix that. A hairline, what is it called? A forehead reduction? That's what it's called. It's called a forehead reduction. When you get a forehead reduction, they take the outer line, like you see a lineup, they scrape it up. They put the knife to it, they put the scalpel on it, and they open you up. And then they go to the crown and they open your crown up and they sew it back together. They bring it down and they sew it back together. He literally can't do it because it opened up from the inside already, and it's always gonna be raw. It's gonna be raw and too tender to touch. No esthetician is ever gonna be able to touch that. You're not gonna put hair. You're not gonna be able to put hair plugs on it. You could suffocate him. He could get suffocated that way. That's why it opened. It opened so he can have more oxygen. Just like when your urethra is open, girls and boys, it's so because you're so dry and thirsty that your urethra has to open to get oxygen because you didn't feed your body the proper way. Your muscles got mad. Your muscles got mad weak. You didn't know how weak they got down there. And now when you did whatever you did, it stood open. It didn't go back to place because it wasn't strong enough because you didn't have enough oxygen. That's why you got cold nuts in a cold tushy and your head is hot. Facts. He go to the Commonwealth. Listen, he go to the Commonwealth, LeBron James. You go to the Commonwealth and you mess with the wrong thing. The wrong thing. Them police officers are gonna put you in jail. Okay? They're gonna put you in jail. You already show steroid road rage. You're on your knees against the Celtics and banging the floor and crying. That's roid rage. That's roid rage. They're gonna test you. Facts. They're gonna test you. They're going to test you. And Savannah's not gonna be there to cover your pee-pee up. She's not. She's not gonna have the juice that she tranquilizes you with to cover up your urine. She's not. It's only a matter of time. Which one you gonna do? He'll never be better than Kobe. And I had to go back and watch Michael Jordan. And I regret ever saying anything bad about Michael Jordan. Not only did I see highlights recently that I've never ever seen before, and it was just absolutely too amazing, but do you realize that Michael Jordan is really left-handed? Despite him playing basketball with his right hand, shooting with his right hand, dunking with his right hand, winning 6 championships with his right hand, do you know he's naturally left-handed? He's naturally left-handed. I'm dead serious. So I got extra impressed with Mike Jordan. Extra impressed. And that's recently. I'm talking about this week. I went back and watched Jordan highlights. And I seen stuff I've never seen before. I can't believe it. I can't believe how nasty he was. My only argument is that he wasn't playing against the competition that Kobe and LeBron was playing against. He wasn't playing against nobody like KD and Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, and then playing against the prime Shaq, then have to play against T-Mac and Vince Carter, Steve Francis, Baron Davis, Tony Parker, Allen Iverson. He wasn't playing against people like that every single night. All right? He would go to Penny Hardaway or Charles Barkley games later, and then a couple of games later, Rod Strickland. You know, it was like that. He wasn't relentlessly getting attacked like the other people, then playing against Paul Pierce in his prime, Ray Allen in his prime. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't playing. If the league ain't get better, it wouldn't be better. It wouldn't be on TV. He wasn't going through that. But him skill-wise as an individual player, he was nastier than I ever thought. He was nastier than I ever thought. I didn't know that. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Mike Jordan. I'm dead serious. I know why I used to wear all the Jordans now, because my father didn't see everything that I didn't see, and a whole bunch of people didn't see it. I didn't know the way he was finishing, the way he finished the basketball, and he's 6'6". Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. The 360 layups, the hang in the air, coming in and down. It was just too many of them that I never seen. I seen a lot of them, but I didn't see the ones I just seen. I watched, what was it, an hour and 47 minutes and 13 seconds on YouTube. I seen a whole bunch of new stuff I've never seen him before in my life. When he had hair, when he didn't have hair, number 45 and all of that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, I've never seen him do that. I never seen that highlight. Then I just got quiet. I had to just stay. I didn't play the video game or nothing. They just showing highlight after highlight after highlight after highlight. I'm like, God damn, this nigga did that shit too. This nigga was nasty. I couldn't believe it. I still couldn't. I was like, yo, I'm sorry, Jordan. But LeBron, yo, skill for skill wise, I don't think you're better than Kobe or Jordan. I'm just saying, I don't think you're never skill wise you can be there. You dunk the ball. That's cool. You're 6'8", 265 pounds, and you can run. You run like a raptor, like a dinosaur raptor, up and down, which is cool. We're gonna see if it's steroids, and you could dunk the ball. I give it to you. You know, if it come up that you using steroids, you steroid user or whatever, I'm gonna take everything away from you. I'm just saying. I'm taking it all away from you. Going back to Michael and go back to Kobe. Steroids or not, you're still not better than Mike. And you're still not better than Kobe. I'm just serious. You ain't got a better jump shot. You ain't got a better handle. You ain't got a better left hand. And Kobe played defense. Not just chasing you down, knocking it off the backboard. Nigga, Kobe, he comes to you half court. He comes to you half court and he will strap your ass down. He will steal the ball from you. He stole the ball from a lot of people. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't meet people half court and steal the ball from them. You don't. You do the chase down. Steve Francis used to do the chase down. He was 6'2", 6'3". Baron Davis used to do the same chase down. He was 6'2", 6'3". You don't face guard the best player and strip him ass naked, take cookies, milk, and panties. You don't do that. Kobe used to do that. Michael Jordan used to do that. Playing the passing lane is lucky. I'm talking about face guarding somebody. Who does LeBron face guard and rip him ass naked? Nobody. He doesn't. You don't. Kobe left hand is crazy. His left hand is crazy. And his jumper was crazy. It's not close. His three-point ball was crazy. And he's a better free throw shooter than you. What? Yeah, he is. He's a better free throw shooter than you, too. They all taking the fall. They all about to take the fall. Everybody, they about to let the 76ers win. If Joel Embiid don't get hurt, and they preserve him the right way, they're going to let the 76ers win. I see it now. I see Jason Tatum getting hurt again with Paul George. I see Jalen Brunson, something happening with him and his attitude. They're probably going to suspend him or something. I just see it. I see it. They play the Spurs, what's going to happen? You get Wemby out of there, it's a wrap. OKC, you know how to beat OKC now. Everybody knows how to beat OKC now. You get Shai, that's his name, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You get him out, it's over. There's no tough teams in the West. And they trying to trade the whole Denver Nuggets squad. For what? They trying to trade Jamal Murray and the Joker. For what? Where you gonna take? Where you gonna bring them? You gonna trade the Joker to the Golden State Warriors? What sense does that make? They got Kristaps Porzingis. What sense does that make? I'm just saying. You're gonna get smoked on the fast break. Stephen Curry is not athletic whatsoever. He's not athletic. You're going to get smoked on the break. And the Joker is a half-court player. Just like Kristaps Porzingis, who has the European flu. That's why Boston got rid of him. And every other team got rid of him. The Knicks got rid of him. He has the European flu. The European flu is forever. It's like HIV. It always comes back. It's like Trick. That parasite y'all niggas got, it's like Trick. It always comes back. We'll play the half court. What you gonna play the half court offense and the half court defense against the 76ers? You're gonna get smoked. Smoked. You don't have Jordan Poole. Jimmy Butler is still going. What's going on? And you gonna rely on Draymond Green? Come on. Come on. Come on. Is Kawhi Leonard going to be able to play for the 76ers? Play for the Clippers? Or are they going to sit him down? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right? They're going to sit him down or they're going to let him play? Come on, man. You can see that joint happening as it's happening, man. As it's happening right now, man. Joint is disgusting, man. The Knicks ain't going back to the championship. They got rid of Mitchell Robinson. They let Mitchell Robinson go. It's a wrap. They're not going back to the championship. They're going to sabotage the Knicks. I'd rather the Knicks win than LeBron to win. And I can't stand the Knicks. I can't stand the 76ers. I hate the 76ers and the Knicks. For me to say that, it's the end time. It's the end of the universe, end of the world. Armageddon. For me to feel that way, that's how much I hate that shit with LeBron. Talking about they about to get Drew Holiday. They're about to get, the 76ers is about to get Drew Holiday. He's a point guard. For what? You got Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Simons, and VJ Ashcom can play the point guard just like LeBron James can play the point guard. Right. Exactly. You see the move is about to happen. They're trying to get Kyrie Irving. That's foul. The league is rigged. You know Kyrie gonna get the whistle. Tyrese Maxey is not going to get the whistle against Jaylen Brown. It's just, Jalen Brunson. He's not going to get the whistle against Jalen Brunson at all. And a prime example was the last season you seen it. They was fouling Tyrese Maxey 24/7, hacking him, bumping him and everything. He did not get the whistle like he got in Boston. And he'll never get it against Jalen Brunson. Never. He'll never get it. Jalen Brunson is he's too prized out. And guess what? Jalen Brunson used to play on the Dallas Mavericks. He used to play on the Dallas Mavericks. And Kyrie is stuck on the Dallas Mavericks. So you see where this is going. Why not have Tyrese Maxey playing with Cooper Flag? They both young, right? You don't want Kyrie Irving ball hogging. He plays way different than Tyrese Maxey or whatever. You see what I'm saying? He's not really an under the legs, flashy point guard. He runs up and down the court, throwing teardrops and